Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamerspro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. As you guys know, this Shannon Sharpe story is kind of simmering down, but there are one or two things happening, right? Now, in the aftermath of what occurred with his video and all of that, one of the people that went out there and kind of called BS on his story was Cameron. Cameron from Come and Talk to Me with himself and Mase. We all know Cam and Mase. Shout out to them. Hip hop legends. So Cam was basically saying at the time, like, he was going through the mental gymnastics of trying to figure out how that whole thing occurred. And he was like, this makes no sense. Like, it's too improbable for something like this to occur by, mistake. And he basically said, I don't believe the story. So what happened? Shannon Sharpe then went on his show where he was addressing some of the critics of what took place, people essentially who were doubting his story. And in the midst of that, he basically told Chad Johnson, he was like, look, and the people that are talking about me are people that are beneath me, right? People that are under me. And what he was referring to was people that don't have a successful podcast as him, and people who don't make as much money as him. So these are people that are beneath me, right? So when he said that, some of us are out here pretty much preparing for Cam and Mase to pretty much respond to him. And that's exactly what happened. So they dropped the show today on their podcast called Come and Talk to Me. And towards the tail end of their show is about a 50-minute segment, about an hour segment. The moderator then poses the question to Cam to essentially respond to what Shannon Sharpe recently has said about him. And Cam and Mase, this time Mase decided to chime in. They did not hesitate to pretty much go back at Shannon Sharpe. So what we want to do now is want to play what Cam and Mase had to say in response to them, and then want to come back and give you guys our thoughts on what they had to say. Take a listen to Cam and Mase here.
Ask Cam, I don't really understand.
Basically, after that video where he was having sex on live, he's been having merch. The girl's name was Michelle, supposedly.
That's my Michelle.
So now they saying that's Barack girl, but he's saying that's my Michelle. He's selling all type of since this quote unquote sex thing came out on live.
I get it.
So he's taking advantage of the situation. So Stat was saying.
So I only like it if Michelle is getting her portion, because you can't be selling stuff off my name.
I don't feel that. Thing is. Is there Michelle? Look, man, I don't know if this whole stay like, you know the talking about, right?
Yeah.
You talking about me, really.
Yeah. What'd he say?
You ain't gonna say my name. He ain't say name, but that way that's be like, he ain't talking about. So the next day he comes on his show and he's like, basically, everybody talking about me. I don't really care if it ain't Joe Rogan or it ain't the Kelsey brothers. Everybody else is underneath me. So I wouldn't pay attention when nobody say, only person I would listen to is Joe Rogan or the Kelsey brothers. Once again, the white man is the only person that you would listen to. Again. Shay. Sometimes you gotta think about what you said.
Put your glasses on.
Put your glasses on. If it ain't the Kelsey brothers or Joe Rogan, I ain't listening. They say my or your name or nothing like that.
The ice is colder when it's white, baby. The ice is colder when it's white.
But he basically tried to say everybody else that was talking is beneath him. Pause.
He's basically saying everybody black is beneath him.
Yeah. You said it.
We heard
you loud and clear. We heard you loud and clear.
But what I don't get still is like, why is just making a comment on the situation considered hating? Because it's like, you did that. We're making comments. That's what we're supposed to do. Same way you make comments. Because literally the other day, like, I was asking, because I was thinking about it. I was like, why is it called Club Shay Shay? I was like, why is he called Shay Shay? Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, Stat, you're hating, And I'm like, no, like, as a grown man, why are you called Shay Shay? I don't understand that. And that's not hating. That's a genuine question.
And that's the ladies' act.
Like, I just don't get it.
And I'm not being funny. I'm just asking the question.
It is SH.
Shay.
But it's Shannon. It's short.
Yeah, but Shannon, like,
But
why
where
would
the-
it just
with
be
a
Club
Y.
Shannon? Like,
Where
Shay?
What Status saying is, you can't say Shay without twisting your doing one of these. That's what she said. But at the end of the day, what I will say on a serious note is, look, I'm not backing down, pause. I think it was staged and you're taking advantage of what it is. You say you accidentally went live, and I'm not going to dwell on it. We went on the show already, but there's no way to just, look, this your phone. You put it down, you hit it, you don't go live.
Yeah.
Even
You
if
gotta count you
look,
in.
Look, even if you open your phone from the joint and then your phone is open, you gotta hit Instagram. You gotta go to post. You gotta go to live. Then you gotta hit the live again. It's how you just
It's 4 to 5 steps.
Yes.
yeah. I just did the steps. It's 4 steps that you
So
gotta
there's
do.
no way that was accidental.
It's 4 steps you gotta do to go live, and that's after your phone is open. That's after you hit the joint. And he
Is
said,
that true, Stat?
Yeah, I
Look,
don't
I'm telling you right
understand.
now, look.
He walks you through it.
Look,
like,
this is right here, and the audience probably know you do. You go to Instagram, boom. Well, it's already on there because I just put it on there. Let's close the app out just so Murder can see. You 1,
1.
2,
Yeah.
3, 4. It's 4 things to do. You can't just put your phone down and be like,
Mm.
yo. Because what he says is, I've never been on live before, so I just put my phone down and come on, man.
So you heard what they had to say, right? You heard what they had to say, basically saying, look, you got all this energy for us. You didn't have that energy for Skip and all of that, right? Look, this isn't the first time Shannon Sharpe and Cam and Mase podcast have had a back and forth. Originally, it was during the Mike Epps situation with Shannon Sharpe, where Mase chimed in, and Mase was just basically trying to tell Shannon Sharpe, like, yo, just kind of be careful of how you talk because things may go in a direction that you don't want them to. Where, if you remember, Mike Epps was saying, okay, you be in my city and all of that, probably the All-Star weekend. And then Shannon kind of went back at Mase, and I did a show. I was like, look, I don't think Mase was trying to throw shade at Shannon Sharpe. I think Mase was speaking from the perspective of the experiences that he's had in hip hop and all of that, how things can start off by just words and then it can quickly escalate to something else. I don't think Mase had any malicious intent towards Cam at the Shannon Sharpe at the time. So that was my take on it, right? That was my take on it. In the case of Shannon here, a lot of people are skeptical of the series of events that occurred, especially things afterwards. Now, to me, I was one of those people where I was like, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you went live by mistake. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it happened. The things that didn't make sense were the things that came afterwards. And those were the things I was pointing. I'm like, okay, if it's a mistake, why are you bragging about it? Number one. Number two, if it's a mistake during the live, you're promoting this product that suspiciously has to do with the exact thing you're apologizing for. I'm like, how this is a little bit too coincidental here. You had that part. And then after that, you were selling, this is my Michelle shirts. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, it seems to me at this point like it's just one big money grab. And that's what Cam and Mase were pointing out. Now, the thing of them being ahead of you and all of this, look, Shannon Sharpe is a former NFL player, Hall of Fame player and all of that. He's one of the biggest voices in sports media. But Cam and Mase are not just some people walking down the street. Huh? Like, they're not. These are celebrities in their own right. And I don't think that Cam and Mase would try to chase clout off of Shannon. I don't think so. Because for goodness sakes, they are who they are. Like, Mase is still Mase, Cam is still Cam. So I don't think that they need to ride somebody else's wave, or I don't think they're hating on them to ride off. I don't think so. I really, really, really do not think so. Right? I just think that they were giving their opinion on a hot topic, on a trend, the way everybody else was, right? To me, I don't think it has anything to do with them being jealous or pocket watching or anything. Just yesterday, they did a show, I'm talking about Nightcap, reacting to the story of Adrian Peterson, who I think is now filing for bankruptcy or saying he's broke and all of that. And I think at one point he earned $100 million as an NFL player. Are you pocket watching that? No, you're talking about a story. So is Adrian Peterson going to come out and say, "Oh, you're using me for views"? And it's just a story. It's the way the thing works, man. People make news, you talk about it, right? But to me, man, I knew Cam was going to come back at him, and then Mase threw in, his comments at the end, which were hilarious and all. And when Mase starts laughing and all of it, just makes it even funnier. So, look, these are my thoughts on it. I think Cam and Mase have the right to be able to weigh in on a story like this without being viewed as haters and all that. It's their opinion. They didn't believe it, and a lot of people did it. I don't think they did anything wrong by basically saying they don't believe it. Y'all already know. Ben Simmons. Look, Ben Simmons is one of the biggest jokers we got going today in the NBA. No one has wasted more people's time more than Ben Simmons. Like it's just a joke at this point, right? Ben Simmons is just. What do we say about Ben Simmons at this particular point? Ben Simmons has been wasting people's time since his last year in Philly, right? Ben Simmons has not improved as an NBA player since his last year in Philly, probably the year before that. He's not improved. He's just been on this steady decline with his points per game, rebounds, assists, 3-point. It's just a total disgrace. But nevertheless, it doesn't stop him from going out there and putting out these ridiculous posts every single year of how this is going to be his bounce back here. What was one of them that he did, I think, while he was in Philly? Oh, he's going to bounce back, and you see him shooting jumpers in a scrimmage or whatever in a pickup game. And then people are like, but bro, why don't you do this in a basketball game? Even his former teammate at the time, Joel Embiid, was like, yeah, this is fantastic. It would be nice if we saw this in an actual basketball game, right? But he does all of this stuff. Oh, he's coming back. I'm going to be better than ever. Oh, you better watch out for me, man. Ben Simmons is coming. And then when he comes back, he just goes out there and stinks up the entire place. Just basically just causes a ruckus and just wastes everybody's time. He gets people hyped up at the beginning of the season, and he goes out there and then just completely just wastes all of our time. So what happened? This morning, I was going through the internet, and I was actually on NBA Central website, right? And I stumbled upon a series of posts from Ben Simmons, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, you have just got to be kidding me. Once again, here is Ben Simmons wasting everybody's time. And of course, it has everything to do with, oh, Ben Simmons is coming back. This is going to be an all-star year. And I'm like, you have to stop with this madness. So let's get into these ridiculous posts. The first one they had up there was Ben Simmons is back to playing all-star talent level basketball. Big season loading. Fire emoji. You got another one. Ben Simmons is reportedly more advanced now than he was at this time last year, and has been playing 5-on-5 for weeks per Nets Daily. You got another one. Chris Brickley says Ben Simmons is back to playing all-star talent basketball. This is the absolute madness we got to deal with when it comes to Ben. Let me just go through what people were saying under the post. One person said, here we go. The Ben Simmons cycle. Start season, play terrible. Random back injury. Off-season workout video. Oh my God. He says start season, play terrible. Random back injury, off-season workout video. Start season, play terrible. Random back injury, off-season workout video. Another person wrote more advanced. He's laughing. Another person said, same report every year. We not moved anymore. Another person said, I also played 5-on-5 last week. Can I have $40 million? Oh, another Prize Pick says, same story every year. Another person said, how many times are we going to do this, man? One person said, every season it's the same, you know what? Big Nick Energy. People often tease Ben, but unless you've experienced a back injury yourself, you can't truly understand what he's been through. I sincerely hope for his success on the court for years to come. Another person said, how about we get another source other than Nets podcast? And then one more person said, he's more advanced on keeping the bench warm. Okay, let me read from another post. Let me read the other one. Ben Simmons is back to playing the all-star talent level basketball season loading. Let's read what one person said. We've gone over this for the last 3 summers, right on cue. Another person says, same script, off season. How many times are we going to do this? And people just kept on roasting Ben. What more can we say about Ben Simmons himself? What more can we say about Ben Simmons? This is yet another ridiculous antic by Ben Simmons or his supporters. You can never take Ben Simmons serious. Look, some people feel like I'm being harsh on Ben Simmons. The fact of the matter is, if you look at his contemporaries, meaning other young guys that came into the NBA, a lot of them got better. Giannis got better. Paul George got better. John Morant got better. Pascal Siakam got better. And a range of other players have come into the NBA, have improved over time, but not Ben Simmons. Let me give you Ben Simmons stats over the last 2 years. 2022-2023 season, in 42 games, this guy's earning well over $25 million per annum to give you 6.9 points per game, attempting 5.6 shots a game, shooting 44% from the free throw line, while getting you 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 steal. The last year, he averaged 6 points a game, shooting 40% from the free throw line. You notice I'm not mentioning threes because he's not even making any. While getting you 7.9 rebounds, 5.7 assists, and 0.8 steals, and 0.6 blocks. Ben Simmons has been, look, it's disappointing. Because at one point, Ben Simmons was an all-defensive player. I think he won the Rookie of the Year, if I'm not mistaken, or he was in consideration for it. He was an all-star. He was a great defender. He was being compared to LeBron James. My goodness, if you're getting comparisons to LeBron freaking James, folks, it means that you have some serious upside. And for Ben to not have been able to capitalize on that and to have turned into a total disappointment, it speaks volumes. And now you hear people essentially turning this guy into a meme, which is, you start off the season, you play well, then you get injured, and you go to the offseason, you post a video, and then you just recycle. You just go in a circle and circle. Look, Ben Simmons wastes everyone's time. I don't waste any more time, taking him seriously. I don't take him seriously. I expect nothing from Ben Simmons. You should expect nothing from Ben Simmons until he shows you that he can actually go out there and show some improvement in his basketball game. This is a pretty interesting one. I don't know if you guys are following us on Instagram. If you're not, I suggest you do. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. And make sure you follow the channel Dreamerspro. Why am I saying that? Because we usually get a lot of our viewers messaging us. And they send me various topics and pieces of news and things that they would like me to cover. And over the last few days, I've been getting different posts from different people centered on some comments that Gilbert Arenas made when he was being interviewed, I believe, at a basketball game, where he was asked to say who's better, LeBron James or Kobe Bryant. Now, if you know anything about Gil's top 3 players are Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. He's also said that Kobe is his favorite player of all time, but he maintains that he believes LeBron is better than Kobe. And I've said to him, that I don't think Gilbert Arenas believes what he's saying. And we've gone back and forth about it. I said, I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. Right? Like, I don't believe it. I don't believe that he believes that LeBron is a better basketball player than Kobe. This is just my personal. He's pushed back on me and told me, nah, man, I do, and this and this and this and this. So what happened? Apparently, there's this video going around the internet that's picking up some traction of where Gil was essentially talking to like a basketball fan in a basketball game, I guess. And he was being interviewed and he was asked to explain who's better between Kobe and LeBron, and then to explain why. And to no one's surprise, especially me, Gil picks Kobe. And he starts to explain why Kobe is a better player. And then at the very end, he got to throw in his man LeBron, like, well, but then again, at the same time, you can't discredit LeBron and this and this and this. So what we want to do now is want to play exactly what Gil had to say. It's only about a 30-second clip or so. And then want to come back and really give you guys our thoughts. Take a listen to what Gilbert Arenas had to say here.
But in their prime, who's better? Probably Kobe. I mean, all around, he's just a better player in a sense of skill work, knowledge, But it's hard to knock what LeBron does. I mean, LeBron is amazing what he's good at that's what he is.
So you heard what Gilbert Arenas had to say. What are my thoughts on this? Look, this Kobe versus LeBron thing, I realize that it also comes down to preference, right? It comes down to preference. Just the other day, I shared a story on our Instagram account, The Story, and it was featuring some Kobe shots that he was making, incredible shots. And I said, man, LeBron can never dream of making these shots. And some people started messaging us who I would assume are LeBron supporters. And they were like, I've seen LeBron pull off some pretty spectacular plays. And then one guy sent me a clip of some of the plays that LeBron has pulled off. And one of the plays that he sent me was that play when he was playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Lakers, funny enough. And he did a fake pass, handoff, a pass, and somebody cut to the basket. He was standing at the top of the key and LeBron palmed the ball. And he looked like he was going to pass the ball to the left. So the defenders, everybody kind of, the defense tilted to the left of him. And then he just kind of like did like this and faked it and then threw it down towards the paint. And then the guy caught it and it laid it up. Spectacular play, right? Spectacular play. And then at that moment, I realized it really comes down to your preference, because somebody would see that and say, man, that was some GOAT, you know what, right? And I'll see that and say, this is an incredible play. And then I'll go look at a Kobe highlight. I'm like, man, this is out of this world. So I also realize that some of it comes down to preference. For instance, I read an article this morning where they were asking Andre Kirilenko, who's a defensive specialist who played in the NBA, who was playing with the Utah Jazz, who used to play against Kobe. And they asked him the question, who would you start, bench, or cut? Kobe, Jordan, LeBron. And his response was, I'll start Jordan, bench LeBron, cut Kobe. And then he gave his explanation as to why. And essentially his reasoning was he already has somebody that could do what Jordan does. So he doesn't want someone out there with a repetitive skill set. I understand that, right? I understand. I didn't get upset. I didn't get offended. I didn't say, oh, this is disrespect. No, it's his preference. Now, personally, I think Kobe he's my favorite player of all time. I haven't seen a basketball player play live play better than Kobe. This is just me, right? I do understand that Jordan is better. I do understand that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is greater in terms of his resume and his accomplishments, but I have Kobe right there in terms of a basketball player. I have him right up there with Michael Jordan. I think they're right there. I don't think it's like Jordan is here and Kobe's so far away. It just comes down to preference. I would take Kobe. If I had to pick between the two of them, I would take Kobe, right? And I saw them both play, and I think Kobe's better. But there are people that will argue otherwise and say, no, LeBron is better and all of that. And it's gotten to the point where it's like, it's a debate in some cases where it's just not worth having, because you're not really going to convince people to go in a different direction. Once people believe a player is the best, that's it. Once they believe LeBron is the best, that's it. Once they believe Kobe's the best, that's it. Once they believe Jordan is the best, that's it. And for me to now try to wrestle with people and, it gets tiring. Now, if there's some people out there saying crazy stuff and straight up disrespecting, then I got to come out there and have some pushback and give my opinion on a thing or two. But overall, man, they're all great players, and I'm just realizing it comes down to preference. But in terms of Gilbert Arenas, I still think in Gilbert's heart of hearts, he thinks Kobe is better than LeBron. I just think so when it comes to ball, because I've heard him talk about both of these guys from a basketball standpoint. And Gil says he doesn't use stats to judge players, except whenever we now bring in LeBron, then all of a sudden he starts to use stats. So I don't know.